everybody, it's Connie with simplestamping.com. I'm so glad you guys could join me for a new Tuesday tip. Hey, today we're going to be talking about distinctive stamps. I hope you have seen these in the catalog. They are a brand new line from Stampin Up. And let me show you. Can you see this fabulous rose? What I love about this type of stamp is that this is an actual photograph of a rose and a photograph of a rose leaf. And then they take that photograph and turn it into a stamp. So can you imagine what happens when you take a photograph and stamp it onto cardstock? It's stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's going to make you look like the most amazing artist ever. Who doesn't want that? But there are a few tricks and tips in stamping with the distinctive stamp because it is a little bit different type of stamp in how you ink it and then how you stamp it onto the cardstock. I'm going to share with you some of my favorite tips to get beautiful, distinctive stamped images. Are you ready? Let's go. For my demonstration today, I'm going to use the Healing Hugs stamp set. Guys, I think this rose is like the most beautiful stamp Stampin' Up! Has ever put out. And you notice that the leaves, they're also in that distinctive line. Again, this is what's going to give us such a gorgeous image. Let me go over a few of my favorite tips for getting perfect, distinctive stamped images. I'll be using a Mary Merlot ink pad, and just so I could show you my tips, I have just re-inked this. This is one juicy ink pad. That is actually my first tip when it comes to distinctive. If your ink pad is too juicy, you get ink down in all those little crevices, and that's not going to give us the best image. So what we want to do is first we're going to test it, all right? So we're going to ink up our stamp. I like to say kiss the bunny. Don't press too hard. But we've got quite a bit of ink on there. Let me go ahead and press that onto my cardstock. And you want to give even pressure. I'm just going to tell you right now, this one will not look pretty. Yeah, little dark, isn't it, right? Well, what we want to do, as I said, this is a well-inked ink pad. I'm going to take an old gift card. This is an old expired gift card. And I'm going to gently take all that ink and I'm just pressing it to the outside edge. Now, I don't want to remove it because I'm going to push it right back at the end. Hey, I want to save all that ink. So we're just going to kind of basically, we want to take that top layer of ink off. We want it to be just a little bit lighter. Now, let me clean my stamp. And I'm cleaning it because I did have a lot of ink down in those grooves and I didn't want that to show up here. So kiss that bunny. We're going to tap very, very lightly. There we go. I want to make sure I have ink coverage everywhere. Sometimes in the center, you might get a little bit light. Tap, tap, kiss that bunny very, very lightly. Now let me stamp. Again, even pressure. I don't want to go too heavy, but I want to make sure I'm getting pressure all around the stamp. And do you see now all the detail that I lost up here? It all kind of globbed together. But look at all the soft feathering that we're getting in that rose. I can do it again. And I will tell you, I do like to practice this a few times before I go onto my cardstock, just on some scratch paper or some junk mail. But you want to make sure that you kind of give it a quick test before you get going on your cardstock. But you can see it is a beautiful stamp. All that ink that I pressed forward, let's bring it back to the center, kind of like icing a cake. We're just going to kind of bring all that ink right back to where it should be on my ink pad. I can clean this off. And I do want to make it really clear, you may not even need this step. This is only if you have a very, very juicy ink pad. Now let me show you with my Daffodil Delight, so a lighter color, and this ink pad is not very juicy. I can ink it up. I say it's not very juicy, but you know what? I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to bring in that scratch paper I mentioned, and oh yes, I think that one is perfect. So you notice with this one, ink it up, tap the bunny. We'll go right here onto our cardstock. Even pressure. Again, I didn't have to bring this card in to even out the ink because it's not an overly juicy ink pad. And there we go. Beautiful. Look at the shading right there. Absolutely gorgeous. And there you go. You see, you can get some really amazing stamped images with the distinctive line stamps. If you enjoyed that, if you have been loving the distinctive stamps, and I hope you have, I hope you've been eyeing these and going, I think I want to get my hands on those. I'm telling you, these images are phenomenal. Now, like I said in the video, just a little bit of practice, just a little bit. Okay, just a bitty bit. And I highly recommend you practice stamping on some copy paper or some scratch paper or junk mail. I love to stamp on junk mail. Why not? But yeah, give yourself that opportunity to practice it just a little bit. You'll very quickly get the hang of how to ink them, how much pressure to stamp, how much kissing that bunny really is on the ink pad. So guys, I hope those tips that I shared with you today are helpful, because the distinctive stamps are stamps you do not want to let pass you by. These are the cards that when you send them, your friends are going to be mind blown. These are going to be mantle-worthy cards right here. So I hope today's Tuesday tip was helpful. Guys, if you want more information about distinctive stamps, head over to simplysimplestamping.com and just look for the March 5th, 2019 blog post. I'll have information about this stamp set, a couple cards I've created with it, and a few other images from the distinctive stamp line. So be sure to check it out at simplysimplestamping.com. All right, that's all from me today, my friends. We will see you on the next video. Make it a terrific day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.